Hello and welcome to the 7-1 notes. So this is going to be a short little, mainly review section. So this is all about the Pythagorean theorem. So this is something you have definitely seen before in Math 8 and Math 1. The first example has two where we're trying to find the hypotenuse. So the main thing you have to know, or you have to remember, when you have a 90-degree angle, the opposite side is the hypotenuse. The two sides that touch the 90-degree angle are the legs. So if you know that, and you can remember a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then this will be easy. So a and b are the two legs. So it doesn't matter what order you do it in, so I'll do 12 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared. So 12 squared is 144, 9 squared is 81. 144 plus 81 is 225. There we go. And then we want c by itself. We don't want c squared, so we got to take the square root of both sides. So c is going to be equal to 15. So that means x is 15. And then on the next example, so our two legs are 8 and 15. We're trying to find the hypotenuse again, because remember, hypotenuse is opposite of the 90-degree angle. So I'm going to do 8 squared plus 15 squared equals c squared. So that'd be 64 plus 225. If I add those together, I get 289. Equals c squared. If I take the square root of both sides, get rid of that squared. I believe that is 17. So x equals 17. That's the first example. So moving on to the next one. What color do I want to use? So again, here's the 90-degree angle. We're trying to find the hypotenuse. So they give us the two legs. So I'm going to do 4 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared. So 16 plus 81. If I add those together, I get 97. Take square root of both sides. Square root of 97 equals c. If I could break this down, I would, but I can't. If you want to put the decimal, you can, but I'm just going to leave it like that. So x is equal to the square root of 97. And then our next example, so here's the 90-degree angle. That's the opposite side, so that's the hypotenuse. So again, we're trying to find the hypotenuse. So I'm going to take the two legs and square each one and add them together. So 6 squared plus 10 squared equals c squared. If you want to do x squared there, that's fine. So 36 plus 100. If I add those together, I get 136 equals c squared. I want c by itself, so I got to get rid of that squared. So to do that, I take the square root of both sides. So c is equal to the square root of 136. So I can break that down. So I want to break that down as much as I can. I'm going to do that up here. I know that the square root of 136 is the same as, let me erase that. 4 times, let's see, 34. 4 is 2 times 2. 34 is 2 times 17. So now I have all prime numbers in here. I cannot break it down anymore. So I look for the pairs. I got a pair of twos, and no other pairs. So one of those 2's goes away, the other one comes out. So I have a 2, and then 2 times 17 is 34. So 2 root 34 would be my answer. So x is equal to 2 root 34. And then our last couple examples here. So this time the opposite of the 90-degree angle is 29. So they give us the hypotenuse. So this means we're trying to find a leg. So I'm just going to call this side A. So now I'm going to have a squared plus 20 squared equals 29 squared. So 20 squared is 400. 29 squared is 841. So I'm trying to get a by itself. So first thing I'm going to do is subtract 400 on both sides. So a squared is equal to 441. So if I take the square root of 441, actually I'm going to take the square root of both sides to get rid of that squared. Square root of 441 is 21. So a is equal to 21. And then our last example. So again, here's the 90-degree angle. The opposite side is the hypotenuse. So if it helps you, you can label them. Hypotenuse, leg, leg. So again, I'm going to call this side A. So I have a squared plus 5 squared equals 14 squared. 5 squared is 25. 14 squared is 196. So we're trying to get a by itself, so first thing I got to do is get rid of this plus 25. So I'm going to subtract 25 on both sides. So a squared is equal to 171. Now I need to get rid of that squared, so the opposite of a squared is taking the square root. And I got to do that to both sides. So a is going to equal the square root of 171. And I need to see if I can break that down. Let me check on my calculator real quick. I can. So we can't leave it like that. We got to break it down. I just figured out that 9 times 19 is the same as 171. And I know that 3 times 3 is 9. So I got a pair of 3's. One of those 3's goes away, the other one comes out. So a is going to equal 3 times the square root of 19. And that's going to be it for the notes.